Hi, today we're going to talk about how to future-proof your business with 5 AI trends that you should be watching. I'm going to talk about a little bit about where AI is going in the future and how your business can really build a competitive advantage from that. I want you to imagine that it's 2026, your business is thriving, you have a competitive advantage, you're growing, and everything is great, all because of AI. So how is this future going to look like, and what's it going to be like? So basically, me and Al, my friend Al here today, we're here to talk to you about the future of AI, especially the things that you do want. As I always promise, at the end of this video, I'll kind of go over an application or a tool, an AI that might be beneficial to your business and how you can employ that so you can get some useful tech stuff from us. And also, I hope Al has some things planned, don't you, Al? Yeah, he's got some things planned. So, hopefully this is a fun video and we're going to enjoy ourselves. So let's get to it. So trend number one is hyper personalization. And what that really means is the ability of AI to basically custom design everything based on every individual that your business touches. So, for example, in your emails, it's as if they were written for that person. When they come to your website, they'll be able to have their own personal experience because your AI is going to guide them based on what they desire. As a matter of fact, your AI is going to remember who they were if they visited before and basically handle it. Think of it like going to a coffee shop, walking in the door, and they already know what you want based on your previous orders, and they have it ready for you within seconds after you're walking in the door because the AI prompted them to do so. So that's really trend number one. So the next trend is predictive decision making. Thinking about like being able to not only predict the weather, but also to predict the weather and kind of know how it's going to affect your business. So AI, which remembers everything, is going to be able to do, predictive decision making or help you with that. So for example, it would be able to do an inventory control situation where it can predict the needs based on the buying patterns of customers, making sure that your vendors have enough supply in stock, and do more real-time delivery of your inventory so that your customers are getting the best quality service at the right time. So this next trend is trend number three, conversational AI. This is something I have some personal experience with coming out of the telecommunications industry and watching how that has changed. But we're actually deploying this with a bunch of customers. Makes a lot of sense today. It's really getting to have a major effect on their businesses. And it's one of the things that can have a huge impact, especially if you're missing phone calls or you really want to up your customer service game. This is one area I think is a big home run for any small business. But anyways, it's basically the ability of AI to carry on conversations with humans. As a matter of fact, AI not only carries on conversations with humans, but it now can carry on conversations with other AIs. So I'm going to show you why that's really important in the future because I'll show out a scenario how that's going to work. Trend number four is AI-driven sustainability. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck does that mean? I did too at first. This hasn't been fully developed. We're just starting to see some hints around this one. But a good example would be like a restaurant being able to reduce its food waste by 40%, or a company being able to manage its energy usage, or picking the best routes for your technicians to be scheduled so you save on energy and gasoline consumption, things like that. So AI can become very good at driving some sustainability in your business models. And it really depends. The applications are going to depend. We haven't deployed a lot of this yet, but I think this is one that you can kind of wait on, but it's coming. And I wanted to kind of give you the future that this is going to be here. And this is going to have a big play with a lot of companies, I think. The fifth trend probably doesn't have as much to do with you guys as it does the industry as far as small business, but AI coding. So up until recently, we had to code everything to build AI agents. Now, a lot of these tools are allowing us to build them. It's like building Legos. We stack one thing on top of each other. What does that mean for you? Well, the good news is it means that your technology is going to be a lot different in the future. Think of it like websites of 1990s compared to today. By the way, speaking of websites, your website's already out of date because AI is going to be able to, via voice, and we're already employing some of these, actually be able to help a customer walk through your website as if they walked into your store and was shopping up and down your aisles. And you had a personal assistant, which is going to be your AI agent, that's basically helping them make decisions. So instead of everyone clicking, and as a matter of fact, this thing right here, this keyboard, okay, 2 to 3 years is going to be history. It's going to be in the garbage can. So we're going to be doing a lot more voice conversations, a lot more personalization. So I just really wanted to, kind of demonstrate how AI with ability to build AI, which means we're going to be able to talk to our AI agents, and we don't have this many. We only have 2, Emma and Al. But when we get to this point where we have this many AI agents, we're going to be able to talk to them and say, hey, look, build us this, and they're just going to know how to do that, just like you would tell an employee to do something, and they would be able to do it. So they're going to be able to make decisions and decide what it is that you want done as a result. So, hey, Al just wanted me to remind you that if you really enjoy his graphics and some of the stuff he's been doing to help me with this video, then just hit that like and subscribe and get those notifications so you can see our next video that me and Al, put out. And you just wanted to say hello, I guess. So I just want to kind of give you a prediction on how this is all going to work in the future. So one of the things that's going to happen is AI personal agents that we have as individuals are going to be also working with AI agents in companies. So I'll kind of give you a recent scenario that I went through. My car recently had a problem, and this computer screen showed that I had a problem. And I said, okay. I drove it around for a while, and then I decided, this looks like a pretty serious problem. It was giving me some kind of malfunction warning. So I decided to call the dealer because that's what it's suggested to do. Now, when I called the dealer, the first thing that happened when I called the dealer is I got an IVR system. Those things that say press 1 for this, 2 for that. Those are annoying. And I used to be in telecom, set those up. So, I know they're annoying. They're back in the 90s. Anyways, so the second time I called, I also got the IVR system, press 1, press 2. This time I got through because the first time it sent me to voicemail. No one answered. So finally, after an hour of trying to get through to them, I finally got through to them because I wanted to change. I did an online schedule, but the problem is it was 2 weeks out. So considering that I thought this was more serious, I wanted to up that. So I called them, and that's why the call. And consequently, after going around with them, we finally worked out a schedule, shaved about 6 days off that schedule. So, and then I went in, and they said it was going to be a while. So they said, okay, we'll shuttle you home. So they drove me home. They had their driver drive me home. And then I waited 4 or 5 hours. They contacted me back and said, hey, listen, we got good news and bad news. The good news is, we found out what was wrong with your vehicle. Now, this is a brand new, almost brand new vehicle. It's 18 months old. Anyways, found out what's wrong. With bad news is we got to order a part, and it's not drivable because it's a safety hazard if we don't fix this problem. I said, oh, great. So we got a loaner for you. So then the driver had to come pick me back up, take me back to the dealership. I had to sign for the papers, pick up the loaner, go home. Now, fast forward 3 weeks later, I had heard nothing from them. Now, they did warn me and say, this is going to be a while. Okay, so I'm driving this loaner around for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I finally called them up because my wife's getting a little impatient. She's going, hey, listen, I really want my car back. And I said, okay. So I called them up, and they didn't really have much of an update other than the part's still on back order and it should be in soon, and then they were going to call me back. The problem is that this leaves a really bad taste in someone's mouth in terms of all the gyrations you have to go through to make something really simple happen. And the real problem, in my personal opinion, is the follow-up. Okay, a lot of businesses, maybe you're one of those businesses, it's really hard to follow up. I get it. Okay, but it is so important that customers want to be maintained in the loop as far as what's going on. So, and it's difficult. I understand it. This is where AI in the future can change it. So let's change that scenario a little bit. Let's go back through it a different way. Let's go, a year or two from now when AI is in place. Now the computer comes up, something wrong with your vehicle. The AI, my AI, will get that information from that computer, and it will tell me either through my earpiece or, on my cell phone, it will say, hey, listen, you get a problem with your car, which I can see. Would you like me to schedule an appointment at the dealership for you? And I'll go, yes. And then it will contact the AI at the business and say, listen, I would like to schedule an appointment. This is the problem. It can actually upload all the computer information so the AI at the dealership can cross-reference it with all the records they have from the manufacturer, determine that there's a major problem, that they need to order a part, that they need to get a loaner, they need to do all these things, then and coordinate my schedule with their schedule, getting the best technician on there, estimating how long this is going to take. All that stuff can be done in a matter of seconds by an AI. As a matter of fact, the AI at the dealership will call the manufacturer and say, hey, listen, we need this part. I already put the part on order before I've even dropped off the car. Okay. Then it will schedule the drop off and the pickup of the loaner. So now the dealership saves a guy driving me back and forth, all this contacting back and forth, all these delays, and the AI will actually do the follow-up to keep me in the loop as to what's going on. Okay. And it might be able to say, hey, listen, this is going to take, 16.35 days to get and, 1.2 hours to fix. And I mean, that's what the AI can do. So think about customer service when my personal AI, which is now my personal assistant that everyone's going to have, is contacting the business's AI. Now, if you don't have AI, you know how that's going to work? I, the human being, have to pick up the phone instead of my AI doing all this stuff for me. And I'm probably not going to want to do that because I'm busy. I'm doing other things. So that's kind of the future. And I'm not talking about the future 10 years from now. I'm talking about the future in 2 or 3 years. So this is why you've got to start thinking about AI now. Now, don't panic. It's not too late. You won't be out of business. But the choice is, Neanderthal or modern. That's it. You're either going to, ask Sears and Roebuck, did they survive? No. Ask Joanne Fat? No. I can name business after business at business that did not adapt to the future and the consequences of that. So you're a small business owner and, it's easy for you to adapt. And maybe you don't think you need any of this stuff. This is all a bunch of hooey. I'm not going to do it. It's going to replace people. It is coming and it's going to happen. And you can just see from that scenario how much better customer service is. And the people who adapt that are going to have a competitive advantage over their competition because they're going to be able to deliver stuff faster, easier, more cost effective. I mean, just think about all those things. So anyway, so that's a scenario I kind of wanted to play out. I know it's kind of long-winded, but I really wanted to play that out for you. All right, as promised, I wanted to show you a feature. Now, ChatGPT, probably all familiar with and using, and if you didn't catch it in my last video, here's some important changes though. They're coming out with new things all the time because they have competition like DeepSeek. I'll show you DeepSeek. We use DeepSeek for a lot of things. There's Gemini, and you can train Gemini to be a personal assistant for you. So, I was talking about personal assistants in the last part of the video. Well, there we go. Anyways, one of the nice features about chat that I like that they came out with is they came out with this use voice mode. You can now talk to chat. Okay, but the other thing that they came out with in just the last few days, if you click this search button and you say, for example, I need a plumber near me. Okay. Normal search you might do on Google, only now you can do it in chat. And they've actually come up with 2 different, responses, which, that has to do with the sources. But if you can look at, they're 2 slightly different, but they have almost the same number of companies in them. Okay, but I really wanted to point out what and why the difference. Okay, is the sources they're using. They're using similar sources, but they can come up with 2 different responses. I'm gonna take the long one here. Okay, and I just wanted to show this to you really quickly because this looks a lot like Google's Maps listing. So it shows where I am near Auburn, New York. That's where I live in the Finger Lakes. Anyways, it's got the businesses near me. it can actually tell me more about them and where it pulled this from. This, so this pulled this information from the Better Business Bureau. Some of this is from the Better Business Bureau. Mr. Ruder Plumbing is from the website, just from Auburn Listing. So, I just wanted to show this to you because if you're a small business, and I'll show you another thing too. Let's start a new chat. Watch this. Here we go. I need a new blender. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to search the web. It's going to go to different sources. So, just want you to know this. But basically, this is a new shopping model they rolled out. Okay. So, I didn't give it a price parameter, but I could say I need a new blender under $50. All right. And then it's going to list me the blender. But here's the thing. You can ask about this product. You can get review summaries. This gives you summaries of why they picked it. It gives you the sources where they got it from. You can dive a little deeper and, say, you can ask it about reviews. So here's my point. I want to get this, this could go on for quite a while. I don't want to go too long with this. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show this to you because this is important. If you're a small business owner that provides local products or services, then you want to start thinking that, oh my God, people are going to start using ChatGPT and some of these other things like Gemini and DeepSeek and a bunch of others. And they're actually going to use the voice function probably more than they will what I just did, which was typing, because obviously the keyboard ain't going to be here in 2 years. So, what does that mean to you? Well, that means that you've got to start thinking strategically about not just being, concentrating on Google or Bing, or you've got to be really across the board. This is coming out of Amazon. This is coming out of Best Health. Kohl's has got a listing here, plus others. So, and if I click on this product, best for smoothies, right? It's going to tell me more about it. It's actually going to do a little pricing research and say, oh, I can get a NutriBullet, or I can get a $79 one here, or Zola, and I can see more, and it can tell me, what people are saying about it, it gives you a ton of information about this product, which is going to be really helpful for people to shop with. Now, the other advantage, as you can probably guess, is that there's no other noise, okay? Meaning I don't have to search through a lot of websites. I don't have to look at a lot of advertisers. There's no advertisers on this yet. There will be in the future, I guarantee it. But right now, this is clean and noiseless. So I don't have to put up with a lot of other stuff, okay? So people are going to start using this. And when they start realizing the power of this shopping, and what ChatGPT and some of these other applications can do, these are tools, remember, then it's going to be unbelievable. And just think, in the future, my agent, my professional assistant, I can tell my professional assistant all the things that I want, and it will do the shopping for me and then give me kind of a report. What's best for me? It's going to know what I like. It's going to know what I use it for. So, think about the personalization that does. And then also, it's just going to be amazing what this can do in terms of saving people time. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to show this to you and what's coming out new. And this stuff is being developed every single day. Okay. Which is why, if you're a small business owner, you're starting to get overwhelmed with this stuff. What I would really do is say, look, one of the advantages of working with a consultant, whether it's me or anybody else, or anyone in this field who's actually doing this stuff, is that, for example, when we work with a client, we don't just sell them tools that they can use. We're giving them the best tools that are going to make the most impact on their bottom line because we know we've done our research. The other thing is we can pretty much guarantee them that if new tools come out, which they will, we're going to be on top of that and make sure they always have the best thing. It's kind of like, you're never going to be obsolete working with a professional. It's the same reason you hire a plumber or an electrician or a landscaper or whatever business you're in. People hire you because the best ways to do things and what's going to keep them within code and not get them in trouble. It's going to work the best. It's going to be affordable. It's going to have the quality issue with it. So it's the same thing with this kind of stuff. So you don't have to learn this stuff. Okay, but you do need to be a little bit educated about it so that you can start, thinking about how am I going to apply this to my business, or what are the big problems I need to solve, and how can AI solve them? And reach out to us or reach out to anyone. Just not us. I'm not trying to sell you anything, because we work with specific clients on specific things, and this isn't about sales. This is about helping you as a small business realize how much this is going to impact the world and everyone in it. So that's my objective. Sorry, that was a little long-winded. Sometimes you get me started on this stuff and I'll just go. But, and Al is not here to check me. What are you doing, Al? Oh, so Al's making phone calls. Al's got 2,000. Yeah, okay, that'll keep him busy for a couple of minutes. And then, check with Nick in operations and see if he needs you for anything else. But yeah, Al's not interrupting me, which is unusual. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, and look for our next video. And in our next video, I'm going to be talking about 83% of the small businesses that got AI wrong, and the 17% of small businesses that got it right and are making a fortune. I'll run through some case studies, some actual customers of ours that are using AI and the results they're getting. So that if that sounds of interest to you, then make sure you subscribe, like, and get the notification so you can see our next video, and look forward to that one. As you can probably tell, I'm not a professional video person, but hey, listen, I don't mind getting in front of the camera and helping you guys. So thanks, and talk to you later.